Stock South here. While I'm on the back porch, and my wife Sandy, as you know, is an antique dealer, and she's always out looking for, well, this and that, and you'd be surprised some of the things she brings home. And I think she actually, even though I don't know how or when she's ever going to be able to sell this thing, I think she actually did find a rather interesting, in a way, work of art. It's, I think, unless I'm wrong, I think this is a casting mold. In other words, you would use this to, you would put this into a box, I believe, carefully, and then pack it with special sand that can take the heat of molten metal being poured into it. I'm almost certain, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the case. And then you would pull this out, this form, and once the sand is properly conditioned, you would then, I guess, take the box with the sand. It'd be almost like a cat pan, only much finer sand. And you would pour molten metal, molten iron, copper, aluminum, whatever the heck it was you were going to make. And then you would have this shape now molded, and well, it would probably need machining and cutting and here and there, a little bit of this and that, nip and a tuck, and it would be it would be whatever this is. I can't figure out what the heck it is. It looks, at first glance, it looks like a table base, but it isn't that. Maybe it's a part off of a locomotive. I don't know, maybe. But whatever this is, it was a heavy-duty factory that put this together. Now you can see this is getting a little bit worn here and there, and this would not be a working cast mold anymore. In fact, look here, it's upside down. But I guess what they would call for, if they got an order for whatever fitting this is, they would ask for a 488086. Go get it. It's down in the basement. In aisle 4, shelf 3. And they'd send a forklift down. By the way, this thing, it's not that heavy. No, this actually isn't that bad. I would guess the whole thing maybe 50, 60 pounds. Not too bad. And from what I gather, the people that made this served long apprenticeships. I guess 3, maybe 6 years long, working in the factory, doing all sorts of stuff, but also learning how to make these molds. And you could have them where they're shaped like bells. You could have gears, of course, all sorts of wheels and fittings for locomotives from back in the day. There used to be a plant out in Whitehaven, Pennsylvania, that had a basement full of this stuff. And it was absolutely fascinating to go down there. I used to take care of their boiler. And they'd let me go down, and I couldn't believe the place. I mean, you had just unbelievable sculptures, and it's quite the art. Whether they even do all this in America anymore, I don't know. Maybe they don't have to. There might be some other way. But ain't this something? Some guy or a group of guys had a very good job back in the day building these things. It was not easy, and it had to be exact or throw it out and make another. and don't do it again. Be careful, you guys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This actually is quite the work of art. People don't realize. But again, it's a casting mold, but heaven knows what for. I'll back off just a little so you can get a full glimpse of it, because maybe someone out there actually knows what the heck this would eventually be. I'm guessing that it would be hollowed out in some of the fatter sections, like here. And maybe what we're looking at is it upside down somehow. I don't know. It would make a heck of a coffee table base, wouldn't it? Actually, it'd make a good one. Anyway, I thought, in honor of the guys who probably served a very long apprenticeship and worked very hard, we'll make this a Lord's Prayer moment. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And I imagine after they finished one of these, they'd say, oh, it's time for coffee. Or if it was near quitting time, time for a beer. And probably a well-deserved beer at that. Yes, indeed. Anyway, Doc South here with you. I hope you enjoyed this. I can't even, my wildest imagination can't come up with what the heck this might be. Let me just flip it a little so you can, the underside, there's something to this. This definitely had a certain spot. Maybe it was a gun turret. That could be. I could almost see that. On a ship. Perhaps. Well, I don't know. Yeah, pretty cool piece, though. Thought you'd enjoy that. We'll see you later, friends. Thank you, and God bless.